Yes, 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 yes. All right, we are finally live on YouTube. Welcome to the show, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Once again, I'm very, very sorry I started this show almost a half an hour later than the originally scheduled start time of 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. I changed the show time to 45 past the hour. Now it's almost the top of the hour. There's a lot going on. Um, I always have a lot going on because I'm always helping people, and sometimes it just really cuts into the time of when I'm supposed to start my shows. I do apologize for that. I don't do this on purpose, but I got to get certain things done, and certain things that I'm also working on. Sorry, certain things I'm also working on at the last minute are privy to the show. So forgive me for that, folks. I apologize. If you're here on the replay, like I always say, the replay is on demand, and it's a little windy here. Sorry, give me a second. On demand, you can watch it at your beck and call. But again, to those of you that are here live, I do apologize for the late start. Today I have a very, very, very important topic that's always been very, very near and dear to my heart. This is a topic that I've personally dealt with throughout my entire life, but more so while I was working in the regular workforce before I became a self-employed entrepreneur over 15 years ago. And I've basically seen anything, I've basically seen everything, which is what I'm trying to say regarding this topic and how people have been treated, or shall I say mistreated, or shall I say violated. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that may disagree with what I say here today, especially many men. But I will start off by saying I have always been a very, very firm supporter and big believer of our civil rights. And our civil rights, based on the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This is, if you're here in the U.S., this is more for you, but every country has their own version of civil rights. But here in the U.S., the Civil Rights Act of 1964 stated that no one shall be discriminated in any way, shape, or form based on age, race, sex, national origin, and nowadays it also includes sexual orientation. I've always been a big, firm believer that every single person, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're gay or straight, or lesbian or bi, or gender nonconforming, or African American or Asian or Hispanic or whatever, I've always been a firm believer that everyone should have equal rights and not have their civil rights violated. And while the Civil Rights Act of 64 has made a difference regarding minimizing those things from happening, but they still happen. And they will always happen, unfortunately, because some people just really don't care about anyone else's well-being besides their own. Selfish people. Now, is my chat working? I know I started this a little bit later than normal, but I want to make sure that someone is here. Anybody here? Can somebody type in the chat so I can make sure it's working? Let me restart the chat. I'll be right back. All right. We are back live. We are back. We are back live. Dusty's girl. Dusty's girl, welcome. You changed your account name. Welcome, welcome back to the show. You're now a moderator here. I've known you for a while, and you've been very supportive of this channel for well over a year and a half now. And I also want to publicly thank you for your $50 Cash App donation yesterday. That wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Folks, if you donate via Cash App or PayPal while I'm live on the air on a mobile stream, I will not get that till after the show. Please let me know if you're going to send a Cash App or PayPal donation, and I'll acknowledge it right when it happens. And then I'll acknowledge you again on the next stream that I do, publicly. People should be acknowledged and, and be thanked for, whatever they do to support someone. I'm very, very big on that. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place today because, this topic is very, very near and dear to my heart. And there's a reason that triggered this topic today. Yes, I'll say triggered. Take it for whatever context it's meant to be. Hey, respectfully, maturely, and professionally, that's my lady there. I'm here and listening, multitasking throughout the house. But thank you again for the $50 Cash App donation, Dusty's girl. I greatly appreciate that. So like I was saying a second ago, there's nothing that triggers me more than people having their civil rights violated. I've always been a big advocate for civil rights, and that includes for both men and women, and even people nowadays that identify themselves as gender nonconforming. While I may have my own thoughts about the gender nonconforming thing, I would never ever discriminate towards anyone based on their gender or any one of the many, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. I would never discriminate regarding any of the aspects of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And even if it wasn't for the Civil Rights Act of 1964, I would still feel the same way. It's a shame that we have to have an act and equal rights amendments and stuff like that for us human beings to do the right thing. We shouldn't need these laws to do the right thing for each other, but we have these laws because people are really, really messed up and really selfish, and they're out there just for themselves, right? And they're out there to get ahead by taking advantage of innocent people. And they do horrible things to these people that violate their civil rights, and then they get away with it. Especially in the corporate world, because the way the corporate world is set up is to protect the company and upper management, and not lower level employees that bust their ass and do everything right and are dedicated to their jobs for years, right? If any one of the upper managers ever violates someone's civil rights or discrimination, or causes discrimination or harassment or a hostile work environment, corporations and HR departments do whatever they can to table it as quickly as possible. Even if you have compelling evidence, and even if HR says, there's no retaliation involved, bullshit. Bullshit. There's always retaliation involved. And even if you contact human resources with damning evidence against a superior violating your civil rights, they end up terminating you because they feel that's the best way to try to avoid a lawsuit. They already know you've got enough for a lawsuit. They already know that a member of their staff above the person reporting this has broken the law and has put the company, the corporation, in a legal world of shit. So what do corporations do? They roll the dice. They will terminate you without reason, right? They will terminate you without reason, right? Hoping that you just go away. Because most people just go away. They roll the dice saying, let's just terminate them, right? Let them file for unemployment. Terminate them because if we look into this and have to admit to this person that reported their superior for discrimination, and it's found to be true, which we know it's true, right? We're in essence admitting to that, and we are opening ourselves up to a multi-million-dollar harassment or discrimination lawsuit, or even hostile work environment. I'm here today to tell you folks, I know most of you have been through that if you've ever worked for someone else or especially worked in the corporate world. And there are things you can do if this happens to you. Now, I'm not going to get too far into it. I'll be sharing some other examples here today. But I mentioned many months ago in the past, my lady has been dealing with this at her place of employment. And I will say this. The situation has escalated. That's as far as I'm going to go with it. You folks can try to figure out the rest. At some point, we are going to come out publicly and talk about the rest of it. But because there is unfinished business regarding her situation, that's as far as I'm going to take this here today. But I wanted to share with you folks the passion, what triggered me to talk about this. Yes, it is my lady's situation, but also this is something I've believed in for decades and that I've personally experienced and seen in the corporate world. And it continues to happen to people each and every day. And I'm sick and tired of good people investing years of their lives into a company, and all they want is their fair chance to, move up the ladder and have a good career with benefits and vacation pay and a 401k retirement plan and all that, right? I'm sick and tired of those innocent people being taken advantage of by a superior, not being treated fairly, and if you decide to do something about it, right, what happens? You first go to your direct, manager, and you go to them for years, and they don't do shit about it, right? So then you have no choice but to escalate the situation to human resources, and once you do that, you can pretty much say your job is done, right? Because HR doesn't give a shit about the person reporting the situation. They give a shit about their upper management, and they give a shit about their liability exposure. That's what it all boils down to. This is what I try to teach people if you're working for someone else. If you get into this situation and early on, you're at a job where you're not being treated fairly, the best thing to do is to talk to your superior. And if they're not willing to work with you, then you know what? It's time to find another job. Because if you continue sticking around like many people have, including my lady, if you continue hanging around that, you're inviting more of it. And it's going to get to the point of where you're going to be wasting your time, spinning your wheels, and it's going to eventually end up costing you your job when you did nothing wrong to lose your job. The corporate world has been playing this game forever. And while the title of this stream says, let's just get to it. This is episode number, 240. Somebody tell me, babe, tell me, is this 247? I think this is episode number 247. It's on the thumbnail. It's also in the description section. Somebody let me know. Dusty's girl, they probably wouldn't even demote you. And in some cases, they might demote you. I've seen people getting demoted by upper managers because the upper managers wanted to hire a friend from the outside that's not as qualified for the job, right? And so they'll demote someone to a lower position and find a way to do it that appears legally, but it's not. A lot of times when you're working for a company and they want to get rid of you or demote you, they will load you up with a shitload of work that's impossible for anyone to finish in the amount of time that they ask you to finish it. They will overload you with work to the point of where they'll write you up 3 times for job performance, and then they'll fire you for job performance to protect themselves from the wrongdoing they've caused you. I'm sick of this shit. I am. I'm tired of it. And I'm an advocate here, not just for women, but for men and women. Regardless of who you are or where you come from, I'm an advocate for people that have been wronged by this system, right? Now, I'm gonna mention who I do not support. I don't support everyone regarding this, because there are people out there that take advantage of the system and seek out special privileges or do shady things to move up in the corporate world, to move up the ladder. I don't support that. Sorry, folks. I got cut off. This is episode number 276, respectfully, maturely, and professionally. This is episode number 276. Okay, not 277, 276. Like I was saying before I got cut off, I support men and women that are good, decent, down-to-earth people with good morals, values, and ethics, that do things the right way, that earn everything, and don't participate in, any BS to move up in the corporate world, such as doing favors for your upper managers or for women that sleep with upper managers and stuff like that. I don't support that crap. I support good, decent people that are honest and ethical, that are loyal to their jobs, that really care about their jobs more than just the money, right? Because some people do a job just because they need the money and they're not really enjoying their job. But there are many people, also good people, that are loyal to their job because they love their job. They love the people there. They love the environment. Those are the people I support. And there are things that you folks can do if you're in this situation. You're in a hostile work environment. You're being discriminated against, whether you're a man or a woman. Now, if you're a woman, it's easier to prove, especially if you're reporting to primarily male upper management, right? It's a lot harder to, well, here's the thing. It's a lot harder to prove discrimination if you're a Caucasian man. like myself. So I just heard some sirens on the freeway, which is off to the side here. If you're Caucasian, if you're a Caucasian man, it's going to be the hardest to prove discrimination, but it still happens. We still get discriminated against, but it's hard to prove it, right? But, you know, if you're a woman or if you're of another ethnicity, African American, Asian, Hispanic, it's a lot easier to prove. And why is that, in my opinion? Because it used to be that way, where the Caucasians were discriminatory. The Caucasian males were discriminatory against women working and other ethnicities working these jobs. I was never that way. But if we go back many decades ago, before the Civil Rights Act, that's why the Civil Rights Act was created. We got some people coming up here that are on the side of the trail. I'm going to have to pass them up on the, I guess on the far left. There's a kid sitting in the middle of the trail, and the father or mother is standing on the right. Maybe they're going to be coming. Yeah, it was the mother. She moved on the other side. So the path is open for me to come on this right side. So, well, the title of this stream says, you know, I will help any woman that's being discriminated free of charge. I mean that, but I'm going to add something more to it in a second. Give me a second. I'm passing by these people. Hi. Okay. Looks like they're doing some sightseeing. There's a gentleman with his young son, and he has some binoculars, just doing some sightseeing. Maybe they're from out of town. I mean, this trail is beautiful. The entire San Francisco Bay Trail, like I mentioned before in the past, is incredible. So for tourists, it's something amazing. Like for me, I've lived out here all my life, and I've been on many parts of the San Francisco Bay Trail all the way around the bay. So I've already, you know, experienced the wow factor, right? I still think it's beautiful. I love it, right? But it's like, to me, it's just something I walk on now and enjoy the beauty. I'll come out here taking pictures or using binoculars and looking at birds and stuff. I've done that in the past. I could also do it anytime because I'm like literally a couple miles from this place. So, anyway. In hopes they'll quit. That's right. Dusty's girl, that's what it is. Basically, what they try to do initially is they try to get you to quit, or they'll fire you, right? Or if they suspend you while investigating whatever they suspended you for, right? Right? They may reach out to you and try to set up a meeting, like a management meeting with like the manager and stuff like that, right? And what ends up happening is, if you go to that meeting, they're going to give you the option of resigning, or they'll terminate you. Never ever resign your position unless you know you've done something wrong. Then you can resign. But if you resign, you're agreeing to what they're terminating you for, and you're also giving up your rights to unemployment. If you resign, you do not qualify for unemployment. If they fire you for any reason, you'll get unemployment, right? But even if you are right and they're terminating you for no reason or a stupid reason, okay, and if they've suspended you, they try to call you in, do not, I repeat, do not go into that meeting. contact human resources and send human resources all of your information. Now, human resources is not going to do shit about that, right? Human resources, you can give them all the damning information and they're not going to do anything. But there's a reason why you do that. It's called a paper trail, right? So what happens after that? You contact human resources and they start ignoring you, right? And then all of a sudden, several days, or sometimes it could be a week or two later in some cases, management, calls you and says that, you're terminated. They see, at first they try to terminate you. They try to get you to come in and either quit or you'll be terminated. And when you don't agree to that, then you're forcing them to terminate you, right? But in the meantime, you're talking to human resources. You're sending them all documentation of everything, right? Now, you're more than likely still going to lose your job, but you have another option. And in order to use this other option that I'm going to mention here today, you have to have good paperwork and you have to show a paper trail of you legitimately trying to handle this with your company, your direct manager, human resources, etc. And you got to keep good paperwork. And you got to have the dates and the times and emails and text messages and pictures and everything, right? So let's say you're at the point now where you've been terminated, right? You've exhausted all your options. You've been communicating with HR. They've been somewhat responsive, but they've also ignored you, right? Because the reason why HR ignores you is because if you send them damning information against another manager in the company, a lower manager in the company, and they know you've got damning proof, if they keep you employed and they take your side, the company's in essence saying that, yes, one of our managers was being discriminatory towards you, and they've just admitted guilt to a multi-million-dollar discrimination lawsuit. If you're a woman, that's called gender discrimination against a woman. And let me tell you something, that's not going to fare well. Right? So in essence, what they're doing is they're going to fire you and roll the dice that you're not going to take any other action. Because if you just walk away, nothing happens, they get away with it, they keep playing the same bullshit game every time they want to get rid of someone for the wrong reasons, right? There are a lot of shady people in the corporate world, in high management positions that don't do jack shit. And when people figure out their game and get proof on them that can get them fired, that's the moment that manager goes into job protective mode and they play the system to save their job when they should be the ones that are terminated for violating company policies and also your civil rights, discrimination, harassment, etc. So now you've done all that, right? What do you do next? So what do you do next, right? And like I was saying, I forgot, I don't know if I mentioned this, I'll mention it again if I did. And if I didn't, I'll mention it now. The topic of this stream is I will help any woman that's being discriminated free of charge. Discriminated at work, that is. I will help any woman that's being discriminated at work free of charge. Now, let me add something more to this. I will help anyone, whether you're male or female, free of charge if you're being discriminated at work. Why did I put women specifically in the title? Because women are more so discriminated when it comes to gender discrimination. Women are more discriminated than any other protected class. Okay? And as a matter of fact, we're all a part of that protected class, including myself, a Caucasian male. But like I said earlier, Caucasian males, we have the hardest job to prove discrimination is happening for reasons I mentioned earlier, but most of you know what I'm talking about, right? So what is the next step? I'm really surprised that there isn't a bigger turnout here for this. I'm really surprised that there isn't a bigger turnout. I can only assume someone's rebroadcasting me, and if they are, that's fine. I got people actively looking, and we're just going to take you down. I'm just being nice and mentioning it. I'm not pissed, and I'm not going to let it ruin my show. I'm just saying, like, this is a very important topic, and there usually would be more people here. And to those of you that continue watching my shows elsewhere, okay, I'm willing to unblock you here if you want to chat. If you want to follow my content, why would you want to watch it somewhere else? I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about serious nature topics. Why would you want to go elsewhere to watch it? You see, other people want to steal my content because they know my name is searchable and they can get a lot of traction from me. That's fine. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'll say this again. My registered trademark for my company has been reinstated. And unless you want to violate trademark infringement, even if somebody sends me a screenshot of you using my content, that's protected by my trademark. It's a serious infraction. Roll the dice, if you like. You think because I'm out on mobile and I don't have access to seeing what you're doing that other people aren't looking out for me on my staff? Okay, that's fine. You roll the dice, see what happens. But anyway, back to the show. Back to the show. So what's the next step? Now, I'm speaking of California here, but I believe every state in the U.S. has a department like this, and every province in other countries supposedly, I guess, may have a department like this. Typically, every state or province has this, right? Here in California, for example, and it could be similar in your areas, look this up. Here in California, we have what's called the Department of Fair Housing and Employment. If you're aware of a Department of Fair Housing, all right. All right, we're back. Yeah, Dusty's girl said they are. There's no doubt in my mind they're restreaming me when my numbers are this low. I still have 12 people here. I mean, there are people that are going to be here no matter what, right? But even if these people want to watch my content, they need to come here. Paul has an unlisted restream. Okay. How about you share the link with me here of that restream then, sir? Why don't you post it and have the moderators approve it, and we can get that link and flag him down for copyright. Unless you're just saying that. I don't care. I'm not triggered. I figured he would go unlisted, and the mid-30s millennial guy would be helping him, right? I don't want it flagged, sir. Why not? Then get the fuck out of here. Ban that guy. Paul, I'm just going to let you know. You're going to be hearing from my attorney, Paul. You pushed it way too far. And more than likely, Jamie's going to be hearing from my attorney soon, too. You guys have taken this way too far. You won't stop. So now we're going to come after you legally. That's what we're going to do. I'm mentioning this right now because I want to have a timestamp of where this happened so I can prove this in a court of law. Let me actually check behind the scenes real quick, because I know there are people that do have access that these people don't know. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back. Hey, Raven, how you doing? Hey, Raven, how you doing? All right. So, yeah, I've got people in high places that can find out any information. So, yes, I am being simulcasted on an unlisted link. That link has been sent to me, and it has been sent to my channel managers. They are in progress of taking screenshots and taking it down for a DMCA copyright takedown. And I'm not going to mention where it is at. What I will say is that you'll be hearing from my attorney and trademark infringement and copyright infringement. You want to keep on rolling the dice and you think you could be all sneaky and, rebroadcast my content unlisted or our members only link, trust me, we'll find out about it and we're going to take you down. You're done. Trust me on that. And you're not affecting my show. I'm cool, calm, and collective. I'm going to be hanging out with my lady for the next few days. I'm going to be off of YouTube. All I'm saying is that, hey, look, if you're going to roll the dice like these managers do in the corporate world with discrimination and all that, if you're going to roll the dice the same ways with me, you're going to pay the price. I'm waiting for somebody to pass on by that's walking. Can you guys moderate the chat, please? These people are pathetic. Yeah, they won't stop until we legally take them down. And that's why I have the Registered Trademark active again. And that's why I have people in high places that can get unlisted links and members-only content too. Let me tell you, folks, Jamie and Paul, I'll say this, or anyone involved with them, any one of you that has an unlisted link or a members-only stream, I will always have that link. And like I've said in the past, there are moles everywhere. And quite frankly, I don't care. I didn't ask these people to be moles, but these people are moles. And they're sick and tired of this game. And you're going to go down. You're going to lose your channel, and you're going to be dealing with trademark and copyright infringement. I'm serious. Dusty's girl. Isn't it ridiculous? Right? And here's the thing. The reason, once again, this all stems back to Jamie. I'm going to mention your name again, Jamie. I'll mention your name every single day if I have to, until people realize that you're getting paid by Texas Caregiver Support Services to do this. You have to keep doing this. And to all of you people that keep feeding into this guy, it all stems from Jamie. This is not even JB. JB's not involved in this. This all stems from Jamie. He is being required by Texas Caregiver Brian to do this. And I'm going to put this as my timestamp here. Even I stopped restreaming Eli. Listen, I'll tell you this right now. Jamie, if you don't stop getting your people in your Discord to simulcast me and all that, I will come after your LLC, Jamie, with my trademark infringement. And in addition, Jamie, I'll tell you this. There are people out there, and I've been sent this proof, Jamie. There are people out there that have the copyright owner. I can't even say this the right way. There are people out there that hold the copyright to many of your designs that you've used and sold multiple t-shirts on. And that could wipe out your entire savings, Jamie, within your bank account and your investments, Jamie, and lose your house and your what do you call it? Your minivan, which is an SUV, trying to make yourself intentionally sound stupid, trading in your Mustang for an SUV. Oh, sorry, for a minivan. It's an SUV, like you said in one of your streams. They don't make minivans anymore, and SUVs are cool, but you amp it up. You call it a minivan because you want people to attack you so you can create content. That's how pathetic you are, dude. You're the most pathetic. And listen, I'm not triggered. I'm just stating the facts. More and more evidence and more people will figure out your game and start leaving you. If you continue to do this stuff, to me, look, you're not even doing it on the front lines. You have gone as far as created unlisted streams and members-only streams, so that way you can continue, being in compliance with your sponsorship requirements. Oh, now we have 17 people here. Oh, so did you kill your stream, your unlisted stream? Yeah. I'm serious, James. Let me tell you something, Jamie. Here's the thing. You're on your own, dude. You're on your own. You've got a limited liability company, but still, limited liability companies, you can still sue for $1 million minimum, right? And quite frankly, you don't even have that much. You may have about 250, 260K between investments and bank account, right? You got about 260K. You got a mortgage and your car's paid off, right? How would you like to see all of that, poof, vanish? Dusty's girl, I know this is what they want, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. This is what I have to do, Dusty, to create a chronological timeline. Because I can't take notes while I'm here. This is my proof, my chronological timeline. And I'm also at the same time, Dusty's girl, trying to make other people aware of what's going on. And I'm not, whether you want to call it feeding in or not, I'm not triggered. I'm going to get back to the show in a second. I'm just making my statement. I'm being very clear here and making my statement, right? Anyone in my shoes that has dealt with this as long as I have, that would have dealt with this as long as I have, and continue to deal with it in this way, would be feeling much more triggered and upset than me. I'm not triggered. I'm just putting it out there. I'm telling you, Jamie, pull the plug, because right now, Jamie, you're on your own. And the list of things that are going to be coming now that you're on your own, James, boom, boom, boom. I don't want to take it off from you, James. You stole a lot from me, and you still are. I've been willing to walk away from this, but you still have not walked away from it, because you have no other content besides every person on YouTube, male or female, feeding into your BS that you instigate. I've never seen any one man instigate so much BS in my life just to be relevant. That's pathetic, man. But that's fine, James. I would have, taken action last year. But let me tell you something, James. I didn't take action on you last year for other reasons. For other reasons. To be fair to other people. Right? But now, James, you're on your own. You're on your own. And again, if you want to continue rolling the dice, roll the dice. But I know it all stems back to Jamie. That's what it all stems back to. And I don't care if I don't care if you do a fair use thing on this. I can't control if you simulcast me or not. I can control my actions on what I do. I don't care if anyone thinks I'm feeding into it or not. I'm going to talk about this and whatever I want to talk about when this happens to prove a point. At Raven, I'm doing great. Dusty's girl, I have the utmost respect in you and everyone else here. I love all you folks. You folks don't deserve this. You folks don't deserve this at all. And we'll get back to the point here in a second. There's more to talk about, right? All I'm saying is that there are a lot of people that have been harmed by this guy. And he continues to harm people. He continues to stir up the pot with everyone. Granny's watching Jess. This new woman now. And I'm hearing that that's fabricated too, right? With this new woman, Sammy, right? Other people in the past. Same thing, right? This guy has absolutely zero content to the point of where he has to make content out of people breathing the fresh air. Can you ban that troll, please? Here's the thing. You're not triggering me, trolls, coming in here saying that there are 25 people on the restream. I don't give a shit. There's nothing I can do to control that. I offered you guys to unban you here. You don't want to come here. This is all of the plot. This is all Jamie's plotting to make money and to satisfy a sponsor. I can do everything right and it doesn't matter. You have to understand something. This is why I'm talking about it, because I offered to unban all of you guys last week and this week. None of you reached out to me. Why? Because you want to go to support Jamie and have Jamie make money off of my content and have Jamie satisfy his fake sponsor requirement, right? Which, speaking of which, here's the thing, Jamie. If this does go to court, and you can sit here and say BS, you know, you never take action. I haven't taken action in the past. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it now, James. But yeah, we'll subpoena your bank records and any shady way you're getting electronic fund transfers from your sponsor, right? Even via crypto. So if you're trying to hide the money you're getting from Brian, James, it'll be found. Trust me. And I'll go after him too. Because that's a targeted hate attack. It's continuing to happen. All the troll accounts were made today. Of course they were made today. Well, we got 20 here. So if they're still running the simulcast, we still have 20 here with the simulcast happening. Do you people not understand this? Even I want to listen. I want to take this moment to try to get through to the people on the simulcast if it's still happening. Okay. I got to check behind the scenes, but I don't have time to do that right now. Okay. To the people on the simulcast, do you folks not realize how stupid this is? I don't even talk about you folks, right? Do you folks not realize that it is part of Jamie's sponsorship requirement to do this? He has to do this because his sponsor gets off on trying to trigger me, right? Here's the thing. You know, here's the thing, Jamie. I'll tell you this. And you're going to give me the rights to do this, right? I put out enough information about your sponsor on my website. You want me to put out more? It's within my rights to do so, to make people aware of this, right? You want me to go further, or do you want to end this? And Brian, I know you're watching on the simulcast. Is this where you want to go, Brian? Seriously, you want to roll the dice? You want to roll the dice? Because, Brian, I do have the means to come after you right now. I'm tired of this. I don't even talk about these people and they still rebroadcast. I can understand if I was talking about them. I wasn't even talking about them. And they still rebroadcast me. There's no reason for you to rebroadcast me, right? So obviously, if I'm not talking about you and you're rebroadcasting me, it means that you're getting paid to do it, whether you admit it or not, whether it's directly or indirectly. Nope. I'm not letting you make any jokes at my expense. I don't give a shit if you make jokes about me. I care about my content being abused. I care about my monetization not coming to me and going elsewhere. This is a monetized channel. If people want to watch me, they got to come here and watch the ads. Or if you have YouTube Premium, I got to cut out of that. You are stealing money from me. And I don't put up with that. I'm not going to let you guys do shit. I'm going to give this guy another chance to back the fuck off and move on. Or we're coming after the LLC. Punkstetic LLC. For your sake, James, I hope you bought an insurance policy to protect your assets. But I bet you haven't purchased an insurance policy because you're that cheap. And if you have purchased an insurance policy, they're going to drop you after I take all that money. Is that the way you want it to go? You've got an LLC. You do not have any registered trademarks or anything. You're violating my copyright and my trademark. Coach Eli is a subsidiary of the GNA that I own. Enough of that. I'm really tired of this crap. I am. You all need to let this guy go. Stop talking about him. Stop talking about him. Anything he does that violates the terms of service, report it. Like you would report anything that violates the terms of service. Right? You got to ignore this guy. The only reason why I talked about him is because he's involved in simulcasting me. And in order for me to put my mark for legal purposes down the road, I had to talk about it here, not only to make you folks aware, but to have a mark of what day this happened. Everything that I talk about on these streams is documented on paper. I think they got rid of the simulcast now before they got taken down. It's too late though, bro, because we got screenshots. And that is trademark infringement. Why don't you look it up? Go to the Genuine Evergreen Association GNA. Look up my trademark on the United States Patent and Trademark Office. It's active. It has a serial number. And then look at what my rights are with that. And then look at what you've got. Look at what you got. I'm willing to let it go one last time, James. If you don't stop, I'm coming after everything you've got. I'm saying this publicly now. And this time, no one's going to stop me because you're on your own now, James. I will take you for everything you've got, James. And I don't want to do that, even though you've already taken hundreds of thousands from me doing this for the last several years. The choice is yours. Laugh at me all you want. Keep talking about me. Every time you talk about me, I'll document that. Every time you use my videos, I'll document that. Everything's being reported at this point. Not to YouTube, but to the trademark office, the USPTO. You guys can enjoy your laughs all you want. Oh, okay, sorry I'm late. I was shutting down and eating dinner. Yeah, J-Rom, they're restreaming me unlisted again. And is Jamie involved? I talked about it because I want to create a timestamp here, a date and time on this stream. So J-Rom, here's the thing. You had mentioned something to me, and I'll say it privately. I guess Jamie hasn't learned. He keeps on enlisting his people through unlisted live streams on in his Discord, right? He doesn't know that there are moles in there. He has no clue. He has no clue who's the mole in there or the moles, right? Have you heard of a double agent, James? You know what a double agent is, right? You're pretty good at doing that to other people. Let the trolls keep coming in. Doesn't faze me one bit. I'm laughing at you folks that you have nothing better to do with your pathetic, miserable lives than come in here and say the same shit you've been saying for years, right? Ooh, how can you afford a $45 pizza? I can afford a lot more than that, brother. You have no idea what my bank account has or what my investments have, and it's none of your fucking business. And if you want to come out here and think I'm a broke-ass loser and have nothing, my woman knows the truth. I don't give a fuck what you or anyone else thinks. And I say that respectfully, not being triggered, right? It doesn't matter, right? This is the only way I can fight my fight out here, is raise so much awareness so that way you folks that keep doing this stuff lose your audience and have nothing, right? And on top of that, we got to take it legally. My woman is laughing. Babe, what do you think about these trolls, babe? You're here. What do you think about these trolls? Hey, babe, I'm a broke-ass loser, okay? I'm a pathetic, broke-ass loser. They're going to cut that out of context, even though I'm being sarcastic, right? These people have no idea what I've done to help my lady, and we're going to show receipts of that when the time is right. These people, babe, don't know what I'm capable of doing. There are some people I have worked with behind the scenes that are probably watching me right now and know what I'm capable of doing, because they themselves are capable of similar things. And I think, ma'am, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about you, babe. I'm talking about another woman. She can figure this out. Whack-a-troll can be fun. Now you tell me, babe. Babe, respectfully, maturely, professionally, my woman. What do you think about these grown-ass men coming in here saying the same shit year after year after year, right? Saying shit like, oh, you're a broke-ass loser, you don't have this, you don't have that, you do this and that. Even if that were true, which it's not, why do you give a shit? What does it matter whether it's true or not, like I said, which it isn't? All that matters is, hey, my woman accepts me for me, I accept her for her. I've got great friends and family. What does it matter? What is the point? Right? Are you folks getting off on me just calling you guys out on your stupidity and making people aware of how stupid you are? Pathetic, immature losers. Babe, you tell these people in the chat. Now, baby, here's the thing. You have the right to leave me anytime you want, and the same on the flip side with me, but I'm not going to do that to you. You tell these guys, are you going to leave me ever? You tell them. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, baby. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you tell these guys how solid we are, right? A loyal woman doesn't listen to haters. She goes by how you treat her. Super solid, baby. And I'm not here seeking her validation. I'm just here showing you guys, hey, if you're going to try to get to my lady, to get to me like you guys got to Dana to get to me, that's not going to happen. Because this time around, she knows everything about me. She knows everything about me financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. She knows everything about me, right? So it doesn't matter what you folks do, right? And you guys say that you want to have fun trolling me, right? I'm not even talking about you folks. But see, you guys know the one thing that does bother me is the simulcasting, and that gets me to talk about you. And that's what Jamie wants, right? But that still doesn't give him the right to do it. And it affected my growth out here. And if he doesn't stop, I'm going to come after his LLC legally. Punkstatic LLC. It's a public company. It's a public company. Right? And again, I hope you have liability insurance, James. I hope you have business liability insurance. And I'll tell you, to get business liability insurance for YouTube, it would cost you $30,000 a year. You know why? The regular lines of insurance won't sell you YouTube insurance. They won't. They won't sell you insurance for what you do because it's too much of a risk, right? I know that because I used to sell that insurance, commercial insurance. Unless you have liability covering just your Punkstatic art, but that's not going to cover your YouTube stuff. That's not going to cover your harassment on YouTube and your trademark infringement and all that stuff. It's not going to cover that. Just take your mod wrench and shove it right up there. But so far, they will be needing false teeth. One man faces off against 20 trolls, proves them wrong, lives in a nicer place, get the girl, and has a growing audience, and he's the loser. J-Rom, let me tell you what this is, bro, and I don't even want to be talking about it, but it has to be discussed, right? Here's what it is, J-Ron. It's simply one thing. It's the fact that Brian, Texas Caregiver, their fake sponsor, his fake sponsor, has an unwritten stipulation of him continuing to come at me. You think that Jamie's going to want to waste his time running simulcasts behind the scenes that aren't publicly available? That actually costs him donation dollars from people that may have donated to him publicly, right? He's doing this for Brian. 100%. It makes no other sense. There's no other reason why he would be doing a public unlisted link. And then he's using other people like Paul to do it to cover his tracks. You see? You see, anyone that's doing these simulcasts for Jamie, you're a patsy, is what you are. All you are is a patsy. You're wasting your time and just helping this guy continue getting $3,000 a month from his fake sponsor of the fake shell company, Texas Caregiver. That's all you're doing, right? And doesn't the same thing get old over and over again? It's the same thing. Even if I talk about it every day, doesn't that get old? It gets old, right? It's the same old shit, different day, right? People get tired of this, right? But Jamie has to keep on doing it to satisfy Brian, because Brian gets off on this shit, right? That's what happens. Brian's getting off on this. Be right back. I will say this. I'm helping my lady handle stuff right now with some things. Once I'm done helping her with that, then I'm gathering up my information and I'm going to be reporting things to the right departments to protect my content. I'll say this, James. Let me just say this. I'm a very happy man. I have a good life. I have a good woman. I don't need to prove that to you. I don't feel the need to prove anything. I'm just saying that I'm in a good place all around, regardless of what you think. You don't know. You guys don't know the real everything about me. Yeah, I've shared plenty, but you guys don't know what happens in my personal life. Not even my moderators know everything that happens in my personal life. That's my fucking business, right? Respectfully's future is a one-bedroom apartment. You've got no idea what her future looks like. You've got no idea what my future looks like. Sounds like to me, you're a little jelly, right? And I'm not here trying to rub it in your face, but if you're going to come at me in that way, and you're going to steal my audience and prevent my growth out here, I'm going to respectfully call you out. Why would they need a big house for just the two of them? That seems like a waste of money. Here's the thing. I got nothing to prove to anyone, even my woman. Where my woman and I end up living when we move in together is our fucking business. And if these motherfuckers want to run background checks and find out where we're at, you come knock on my fucking front door. And by that point, you'll be facing a 9mm because I'll have a permit to protect myself legally, right? And that's if my German Shepherd at that time, my big ass 80, 100-pound German Shepherd, penis shepherd, male dog, doesn't bite your nuts off first. And nothing matters. It doesn't matter, folks, what people think about you. You know, it doesn't matter how much they come at you. But the reason why this same group of people keeps coming at me for years is because of one person, Jamie, who runs the Like and Legion channel, and who is getting paid to do this. Unprovoked, folks. That's how stupid it is. I will talk about something interesting in a second. I'm sorry, Dusty's girl. For those of you that weren't here earlier, I want to make it clear again. I want to pay acknowledgement where acknowledgement is due. Dusty's girl is now a moderator here. She's been supporting this channel for about a year and a half. She also was a part of the other side in the past, and about a year and a half ago or so, she reached out to me, and we've been connected since then. She's had some things to do, so she hasn't been around in a while. But welcome back. And again, last night or yesterday afternoon while I was on the stream, I didn't notice it because I don't get my notifications. She sent me a $50 Cash App. Thank you very much once again for that donation, Dusty's girl. I greatly appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, Dusty's girl, I'd love to connect you with the mod crew behind the scenes. We can keep in touch that way. I'm trusting that you've completely moved on from all this. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that there are any moles in my operation, but even if there were, right? We don't talk about anything behind the scenes that we don't talk about publicly, right? You see, we don't do things behind the scenes like some other hate groups and cult-like groups do out here on YouTube, right? We talk about positive things, and then we laugh at the stupid things that other people do, right? So there's no difference of what we do behind the scenes and on the front line. We just choose what we want to put on the front line or not because we're afraid to, because we just don't want to feed into stuff that's unnecessary, right? We don't want to build the flame bigger than it is. But sometimes you have no choice. Sometimes you have no choice because people just don't stop, right? And if they don't stop, I'm going to keep raising awareness. And here's the thing, James. I'm going to keep raising awareness, and I'm going to take back everything you took back from me. And they're already starting to come. I'm not even telling these people to be here. Like, I respect these people. I treat them with respect, right? I never once forced any one of them to be here. They're here because they want to be here. They came here on their own free will after they found out what you were really all about, right? I'm going to keep taking and taking and taking everyone until you have no one left. You want to keep doing what you're doing until you're dealing with the legal ramifications that are going to come from me. Now that my trademark is back and activated, I'm just going to keep taking your audience one at a time. They're going to come here on their own free will when they realize how stupid this is, right? You guys getting tired of me repeating the same thing over and over again? I know my audience is. They want me to move on. Are you guys getting tired on the restream if it's still up? You getting tired of it yet or not? It's boring, isn't it? Stupid, right? If it hasn't gone down yet, keep it up because the DMCA has been filed and screenshots have been taken. Roll the dice. Every time I've told you guys to roll the dice, like Paul, he's gone down every time. He doesn't get it. He's gone down every single time. It amazes me how much one man, that I can't even call a man because he doesn't behave like one, this mid-30s guy, it amazes me how much this one man has stirred up the pot here and has to continue stirring up the pot to have any kind of relevancy. Sir, you've got no relevancy without the stupid shit you do. You have no faith in yourself, dude, to create something real. You, sir, are worse than any woman I've met with the drama. Like, women naturally love a little bit of drama, some a little bit more than a little bit of drama, but you, sir, are worse. You're the worst drama queen more than any other woman I've encountered in my life. For a man, that's pretty freaking pathetic, dude. It's pretty pathetic, man. And I'm done with this crap. It's in the hands of my channel managers and YouTube now. and everything else I will handle behind the scenes. I'm trying to give you, all I was trying to do is give you guys a fair warning. Because, and even Jaron would tell me, keep it quiet and just, hit them quietly, right? I respect what he's saying, but I'm the kind of man, I'll give you a chance to do the right thing. I'll give you a chance to do the right thing. Fair warning is what they call it, right? If you don't take that fair warning, then you'll be dealing with me in other ways. And like I mentioned yesterday, folks, check out my short stream I did yesterday. Well, it wasn't short, I think it was almost 2 hours. Regarding my registered trademark is now back and active. My entire business is protected under the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA. Coach Eli is a subsidiary of the GNA that I own. Go look it up for yourself. Go look at the certificate yourself. It's a beautiful day out here. So I was talking earlier about the Department of Fair Housing and Employment. I was talking about every state, I believe, has something like we have here in California. The Department of Fair Housing and Employment is a California government agency that protects the people here in California, the citizens of California, to have fair housing and fair employment. And there's no discrimination or harassment or anything allowed. One of the main things that the Department of Fair Housing and Employment does is it protects people from discrimination. All types of discrimination, right? I will just go as far and say this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. And I'm not going to get too far into it because we'll share more of the story when this is all said and done. Everything is still in progress involving my lady. But she has been discriminated against, gender discrimination. And there's lots of proof of it. And I have helped her put all the information together. And let me tell you, once this is all said and done, it will be publicly put out there. I don't know if she's going to come out and use her name at that point, or if we're just going to, blur out her name. We'll probably blur it out, but you guys are going to see the type of work I'm capable of doing, how I'm able to help people. And then you'll see the outcome and see what I'm capable of doing. I'm not trying to prove anything to you folks. I'm just saying this is what I do, right? So now the company fires you, right? If you're just tuning in, you have to go back and watch the replay because the DVR is turned off again now. Companies fired you wrongfully for discrimination, right? Here in California, you go to the Department of Fair Housing and Employment. And what happens is you create an account and you send them all the information you have and how have your civil rights been violated. I think I mentioned it earlier before I went off on a little tangent. Sorry about that, but the Department of Fair Housing and Employment is the largest civil rights agency, government agency in California. If you have a case, they will help you with your case free of charge. There's no charge to it. Now, the Department of Fair Housing and Employment, what they will do is if they deem you to have a discrimination case, right? They will contact, the employer that created that and investigate it. And then they also will let you know once their investigation is done, the Department of Fair Housing and Employment has investigated it and it's done. They will let you know whether you have a right to sue or not. And if you have a right to sue, they give you what's called a right to sue notice, right? And that basically is a statement from the Department of Fair Housing and Employment, a government agency, saying that that company has violated a part of your civil rights, in this case discrimination, right? What happens is once that happens, they send out that information to the company that violated your civil rights, discrimination in this case, right? And they arrange a meeting with the company. It's called like a mediation, like with a mediator, right? And they allow the company to make things right with the person that's been violated and settle out of court. That's the time right there where any company that's in that situation would be smart to just offer some large sum of restitution to the employee violated. At that point, if there's no resolution made in that situation of mediation, the Department of Fair Housing and Employment can sue the company. And I believe at that point, they're not suing the company on the behalf of the person that was violated. They're suing the company for violating discrimination laws, civil rights laws. At that point, with that right to sue notice, the person violated can sue them in a civil court, which technically would cost a lot of money. But if that ends up happening in the case with my lady, if it gets to that point, it's not there yet. At that point, being a woman, she might be able to find an attorney, a female attorney, that's a big believer on equal rights and totally against discrimination, where this attorney may take it on a contingency basis. Contingency is depending on the outcome of the case. The attorney only gets paid if they win the case, and they get about 30 to 40% of the settlement. So let's say it gets to this point with my lady or anyone else, and they go to court and they're awarded $1 million, and the contingency is based at 30%. The attorney would get $300,000, and my lady or whoever else would get $700,000. Cases like this that are a slam dunk, there are many attorneys out there that would take this under contingency. You have options, folks. You have options to be treated fairly in this world, whether you're a man or a woman. You have lots of options. And many of you don't use those options. You don't use your resources. I have resources. I've learned all this stuff and help you folks. And I'm willing to help any man or woman free of charge if you are being discriminated against in the workforce. I will give you a free 15-minute phone consultation, and then I will even keep in touch with you through Facebook Messenger. That way I can send you voice messages, and I will send you the information. Now, I'm a busy person, so I can't sit on the phone with you for an hour or two unless you pay me my full rates. But what I'm saying is, if we connect through Facebook Messenger, and I can send you the information and send you some voicemails every now and then, voice messages, that's real easy for me to do. I will do that for you. It's the same thing. Folks, please smash the thumbs up. Please like this stream, whether you're here live or on the replay. Please share it out on your community tabs here on YouTube if you have one. Share it out on social media. And if you haven't already subscribed, and bang the bell and selected all notifications, please do so. You need to be subscribed here in order to chat. Once you subscribe, you can start chatting immediately. There's no time required before you can chat here after you subscribe. I lifted that several weeks ago, probably almost a month ago. Give me a second here. Somebody's coming on the trail. I want to be respectful. Really, really nice day. It was raining earlier. You can see the trail's a little bit wet. And Jerry, I'm going to send you some messages later on today, behind the scenes, outside of the group. I want to get your thoughts about certain things, because J-Rom is a business owner like myself, and he's had many businesses. And what I respect about J-Rom is he knows how to run a business, and he knows how to treat people, and he knows how to talk with people. Those are the types of people I've always worked with in the real world, but now coming out here on YouTube because of one person that continues to get paid to try to destroy my audience and all this and that. I haven't been able to find that many people like J-Rom. I'm not saying the rest of you are not good people. You are. I love everybody, but I'm also looking to work with people that are successful entrepreneurs and business owners that have a tangible business, that they've either made good money already or they're on their way to make good money, and they treat YouTube like a business, not a hobby. If you treat YouTube like a hobby, I still love all the rest of my mods, but I want to further collaborate more with business savvy people. I'll be right back. Need to reset the chat. There we go. I can actually help with that. Email me at jrom02@gmail.com for weight loss tips. Cool. Yeah, J-Rob, anyone that needs, can you folks see me and hear me clearly? Anyone that needs fitness help, go to J-Rob on that. I am not technically a fitness expert. I do know a lot about fitness, but J-Rob is the expert at it. I know a lot about the basics and stuff, but you know, that's one of his businesses that he runs. So, you know, reach out to him. If you reach out to me for that, I'm just going to refer you to him. And that's another thing I want to also do. I want to do a stream on creating a solid referral base. Having a great referral base is key to being successful as an entrepreneur or in any aspect of life. Having a great referral base, which is also a great resource base, and knowing how to use your resources the proper way. One thing you don't want to do is use your resources in the way that Jamie Leichenlegion does, because he just uses them and doesn't reciprocate ever. Whenever you use your resources, you're grateful and thankful and do whatever you can to reciprocate. It doesn't have to be right away, but at some point, if they need something from you and they've done something for you great in the past, take that into consideration, for Christ's sake. Yes, we can see you and hear you clearly. Thank you, Anna. Okay, I'm not going to read everything because it's just too much. I'm going to read the relevant stuff. But yeah, Jerom's giving some great information regarding fitness. Exactly, options. If you don't like how you're being treated at work, get a new job. There are many places hiring. It's crazy. Most attorneys would take that case pro bono since it's bound to make the news. Well, you know, J-Rom, that's a good point. If it gets to that point, it's not there yet with my lady. It's not there yet. It might get there. I'm assuming it will, because that's how these things always play out, usually, right? But I was talking with her. If it gets to that point, I was thinking pro bono, and then I was like, somebody would probably somebody would be more likely to take it on a contingency basis. But yeah, if there's a woman that would take this case pro bono, and definitely, if it happened to my lady, we would definitely want a female attorney. We would want the baddest B word. I don't like calling women the B word, but we would want the baddest female B attorney on the planet. And if she does it pro bono, that's great. But even on a contingency basis, that'd be good enough. But to pay someone outright for a case like that, it'd be very costly. Hey, Pick Rob, how you doing? Do you know J Rom and Anna? Welcome to the show. If you're sitting on the internet, there are internet jobs you can do. Of course there are. There are plenty of jobs. Oh, you blocked one of my trolls that Eli couldn't qualify for a mortgage. So yeah, it's the doctor again. What's up, Doc? You still haven't gotten over me? Ronaldo, Trim. I'll just call you out. I don't care. You want my attention? You want some love from Coach Eli? Can you ban that? Yeah. Yeah. Move on. No one's paying me no attention. Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, my credit's back to being perfect. The only thing that I've ever had a blemish on my background in my entire life is I filed for bankruptcy about 12 and a half years ago. And 2.5 years ago, it came off my record, and my record's clean. And I can qualify for anything. I can qualify for anything. I've got plenty of credit cards. I don't use them. I use them every now and then. Like I have a buy card because it gives me 12 months interest-free payments. If my credit wasn't good, they wouldn't approve me for that card. I'm not here trying to prove anything to anyone, but I'm like, here we go. Like we're going back, what, 3.5 years? You see this? I'm only mentioning this as a funny thing, folks. I'm not triggered. This is how funny it is. I've never seen people that have to go back 3.5 years when I still had a bankruptcy on my record, and I was with Dana, and they were saying, "Oh, Eli, he got dumped by Dana because he couldn't qualify for a mortgage for a house." Who said we were going to buy a house? I know you guys are just trying to trigger anyone saying anything, right? But who said we were going to buy a house? And who was to say that if I was still with her, that we wouldn't have bought one by now, with my credit being clean again? 3.5 years, right? I also mentioned this too, folks, because I've shared as much as possible about the past 5 years out here with my lady and my entire life, but some things come up. So the cool thing, me saying this stuff to the trolls, it really shows my lady more of what I've experienced, and I'm being more transparent with my lady. You know what I mean? Paul, if no one was giving him no thought, you wouldn't be restreaming him all the time. Just saying. I've only used my card to buy snacks, so my credit is top tier. I think Eli wants that one blocked. You can't. I just can't do it. Which one blocked? Are you talking about Paul? No, I do want him blocked. Why would I not want him blocked? Can you guys hide that Paul account again, please? Anna or my woman or somebody with a mod wrench. Thank you, Anna. I've already talked about this with J-Rom, and I understand he cares about Paul's well-being in real life, but I got to protect my business that he's affecting out here, which is my real life. So J-Rom and I have an understanding. He just doesn't want to be the one that bans him. That's all. I can understand that. That's fine. Done. Thank you. Yeah, so like I was saying, and I'm going to start heading back here. Like I was saying, yeah, they'll probably take it on a contingency basis. And at that point, you're looking at a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. It could even be a $10 million or $20 million gender discrimination lawsuit. Doesn't mean that you would win that. But yeah, they'd probably sue for 10 or 20 million. It'd probably settle for somewhere around a couple million, maybe 4 or 5 million. You always have to sue for a hell of a lot more and leave a lot of room for bargaining. I think J. Ram and I were talking about, we were talking about this behind the scenes. The one thing that we need to teach women to do a better job at, respectfully speaking, and J. Ram, I agree with you, is we need to teach women to better negotiate salary and just negotiate everything, right? Because there are a lot of women that make decent money, and some very hungry salespeople or some very cheap, companies or, bosses, they try to hire you at the lowest rate possible. Or people try to overcharge you for things that you can get cheaper, right? I think we need to do a better job of helping women become better negotiators. Now, I'm not saying that all women need this help. There are some women out there that have learned this. They were raised in a household where their family, their parents taught them this, but a lot of women are not good at negotiating, right? And they're ripe for the picking when it comes to being taken advantage of regarding money in any capacity, whether it's, money you would make at a job or a product you would buy at a store. Oh, BRB, I gotta let my chihuahua out. Okay, Pick Rob. Do you guys know Pick Rob? Anyway, folks, please smash the thumbs up. We've only got 10 likes. Let's get it up to 15 likes at least. We are at 92 minutes. I actually went to the other side. But I've been on for an hour and minus a minute or two being off. We're like at an hour and 31 minutes or so, like that. All right, we're at that time mark, timestamp. Mechanics are notorious for overcharging women. Yep. Oh, yeah, and many other aspects in life, women are overcharged by men and probably other women that know how to negotiate. No, I do not know him. That channel was started January of this year, and they are not a content creator. Susanna, Coach J-Rom. Never seen Pick Rob, but he or she is being respectful, so let him stay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, they are, which is why I learned to work on my own cars, says Anna. Of course. Folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less. I got to head back home and take a shower and tidy up a little bit. And my lady's going to come over, and we're going to... Here's what's going on for the next few days. I may not be back until Monday, folks. I may not be back until Monday. And I forgot to mention the other day a new product I bought for my studio. I went back and watched the replay, and I was talking about some new equipment, and I didn't mention the main thing. I'll mention that here. But I'm not going to be doing any streaming tonight, all day tomorrow, and I may do a walk on Sunday. Probably not, because my lady is going to leave my place at about sometime in the morning, and then in the afternoon, early evening, I have Easter dinner with my family at my aunt's house. So I'm going to go to my aunt's house for Orthodox Easter. Greeks are Orthodox. The Orthodox Easter is this Sunday. Last Sunday was the Catholic Easter, aka American Easter. The Orthodox/Greek Easter is this Sunday. I may end up coming back from my aunt's place, and if I have energy left, I may do a night stream on Coach Eli, 2 uncensored live streams. But if not, I won't be back until Monday. Now, The new purchase I made, which might trigger some people, some people might think, oh, you copycatted me. Nope. I was going to do this anyway. So when you and RMP get married, will it be a Greek wedding? I don't know. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. But the furthest thing from my mind right now is marriage. I'm not saying that to disrespect my woman. I do want that with her and all that, but right now we've got other more important things to deal with. All that matters is we're together. I know you're kind of being funny, Anna. It's all good. I hope so, Anna. Dusty's girl says, I've always worked for everything until I met my second husband. Anna says, I was taught that I am not special just because I'm a female. I was taught to work for everything I have. Well, I respect women that think that way. And my woman is that way too. But because she's that way, I have respect for her. And I have no problem doing my part or more than my part. I know where my woman's head and heart is at. My woman is not a radical feminist. Neither are you, Anna. Neither are you, Dusty's girl. You just want to be at the same level with your partner, right? And granted, men and women are biologically different. I totally get that, right? But when you're with the right person, you're each other's equals, right? You respect each other equally. That's what I have with my lady. And that's what she has with me. So yeah, we'll talk about the marriage thing another time. It's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's like I've got too many other things on my mind right now. And my lady needs me to help her with too many other things to even have any time left to think about that is not an option right now. I'm just saying when. That it's not happening now. Boo-hoo. My woman is having fun at my expense right now, which it's okay, babe. You can have fun at my expense with your fake boo-hoo. I'll be seeing you in a little bit, and trust me, you're not going to be boo-hooing. It's all good. But yeah, I made some purchases because I paid off my Best Buy card when I bought my Sony A6400 and the lens. It came out to around $1,000, and I finished paying that off before the 12 months because it's interest free for 12 months, and that way I can have other money reinvested. I don't have to pay it off all at once. That's why if you have an interest free card for like a 12 or 24 month program, charge it up. It keeps your credit going and it keeps building your credit. Plus, instead of paying it all off at once, you can have that money invested somewhere else and pay, equal payments in 12 months. As long as you pay it off, it's not going to cost you any more, and you can have your money. You can have the other, $900 or whatever sitting in a IRA or something like that, or something like that, and making you more money. She's hinting that she wants a damn proposal. No, I know that's not fake. That boo-hoo. Well, no, she knows I'm joking, so she's giving me a sarcastic boo-hoo. It's not fake. That's a sarcastic boo-hoo. A ring. Yeah, I get it. So, yeah, I made a major purchase for my studio. I forgot to mention it the other day. I bought a brand new microphone. I bought the Shure SM7B, a $400 microphone. One of the best microphones you could use for podcasting on YouTube or creating videos. This microphone has amazing quality. Now, this microphone has very, very low gain. So I had to spend another $150. Well, more than that. I had to also get an audio interface because this microphone is an XLR microphone. It's not a USB microphone. Real microphones use what are known as XLR inputs and outputs. In order to do that, you need to have an audio interface And then from that audio interface, you connect it via USB to your laptop or desktop. Give me a second here. All right. I was just waiting to see where this one guy was going. I thought he was coming up here, so I was going to give some space. But he's going over to the other side there. You never know when you're being followed. You know, you always have to be on alert. Yeah, he's gone now. So I had to also get an audio interface, which was about $250. It's a 2-channel XLR audio interface, so I can have up to 2 microphones. So if I ever bring anyone in my studio and get a second mic, I had that option later on down the road. But for now, it's going to be one. So I've got the Shure SM7B. The Shure SM7B. So you take the XLR cable out of the Shure, and then you put it into this thing called a cloud lifter. It's called the mic activator. And because the Shure SM7B, it's not like the Blue Yeti that has a lot of gain in it already. The Shure SM7B has very minimal gain. So you have to amplify that thing before it gets to your laptop. And you can get, you know, all of the audio interfaces have, you know, a level of gain. But for the Shure to work, you have to crank up the gain all the way up, and then you get some distortion. The way you fix that, if you get a more expensive audio interface, like a $1,000 one, you don't need to get this extra piece. But if you want to get a more affordable audio interface, like I have for $250, you get an additional piece for $150 called a cloud lifter, and it gives you an additional 25 decibels of gain, clean gain, coming out of your Shure SM7B. So you go from the Shure SM7B by XLR to the cloud lifter through XLR. On the other side of the cloud lifter, another XLR cable comes out. Then the other side of that XLR cable, it goes into the audio interface. From the audio interface, you have a USB-C cable coming out of the audio interface to a USB-A cable going into your computer. And then what you do is there's a button on the audio interface. You click 48 volt phantom power, and that powers just your cloud lifter. And then you can turn up the gain halfway on your audio interface and have a great level of sound at a loud enough level that's pleasant and sounds clean with minimal distortion. I'm going to go off the air and come right back because I think the chat froze. I try to be as blunt as possible. Exactly as Jerome says, Dusty's girl, us women know how to hint. Real quick to finish this up. So, additionally, like I was mentioning a second ago, the boom arm that I'm using right now for my Blue Yeti has a shock mount on it that makes it a bigger appearing thing in my video. I do not need to use a shock mount for the Shure SM7B. It comes with a built-in shock mount. So I can take out that shock mount, and there's a $9 piece, extension piece, to the Shure SM7B that you add on to your boom arm, and it gives you a little more extension and also allows you to swivel the Shure SM7B 360 degrees. And so I've got everything, well, I'm going to be receiving some more shipments today. I got some stuff yesterday. I'm getting more stuff today. And then on Tuesday, I'm getting the audio interface. So I'm not going to be able to use this new mic until Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to set it up. So just wanted to give you folks a little bit of a heads up. Yeah, I mean, if you think the sound in the studio sounds good now, it's about to get a hell of a lot better. And I've been looking forward to this investment. I know, Jerome, you and I were talking about the Shure SM7B behind the scenes. I think you were saying it has a gain issue. No, it has. Well, it's too loud. No, it has an issue where it's too low. You need to have the right amps to power it. So that way it has a clean signal going into your computer from the audio interface. And when you folks, the difference between USB and XLR, there's virtually like no interference with XLR. XLR is like the cleanest connection to connect a microphone to your computer through an audio interface. When you use USB, there can be some interference there, and the quality is a little less clean. So, anyway, what the hell is that? There's some people coming over here on this side, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to read the chat for one more time, and then I'm going to go off the air. I got to really get ready for my lady that's going to be coming over in a few hours. RMP, hope you all have a great evening. My woman knows I care about her and I love her. It's all good. We're just having some fun on the front line. I've heard it has a sensitivity issue and picks up pop. Well, let me address that right now real quick. So the SM7B J-ROM comes with 2 pop filters. It comes with the standard one, that's the thinner one, right? But you can also use the bigger pop filter, and it removes everything. I've never really had an issue with plosives. They call them plosives, okay? But I'm going to try both out, and I'm going to play with the settings probably on Tuesday, late night, and have it ready for a stream on Wednesday. But yes, you are correct about that. If you're one that has strong plosives, right? Okay, like this here, on my windscreen here, windscreens do not only act as a windshield, they act as a pop filter. So this windscreen is also a pop filter, so that way you don't hear the plosives, right? Well, yeah, the SM7B, the Shure SM7B, the $400 mic, the standard, it looks like the SM7B looks like a male penis, all right? Let's just be real about it. It looks like anyway. So when you use the regular foam on it, it works okay, but if you have strong plosives, you need to use the bigger foam, which makes it look a little bigger. I hope the smaller one works good enough for me, because I don't want this new mic to take up as much real estate on my screen as the Blue Yeti does. It's not as distracting, but anyway. I may run a gaming stream this weekend. Okay, cool, Anna. Let us know. We can come support. Cool Anna says Dusty's girl. Laud. What's LAWD? Loud. Okay. All right, folks. I'm getting out of here. We've been on for 108 minutes minus a couple minutes, 106 minutes, an hour and 46 minutes. Let me shut this down and come right back. All right. Loudy for your description of your mic. Okay, cool. All right, folks, we're going to get on out of here. You should look into a Blue Parrot BT 650 XT for your walks. It's made for truckers, so the noise canceling is amazing. I'll check that out. J-Rom, thank you. All right, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. I'll keep you updated through some community posts throughout tonight and the weekend, but I will not be doing any content until at least Sunday evening. I mean, if something does come up and I do something because my lady really wants me to do a stream, sometimes she wants me to do a stream, I just don't want to take any time from her because I don't have much time to spend with her this weekend. But if you don't hear from me, probably Sunday, if not Sunday night. If not Sunday night, then at some point Monday the walk will be back and all that. Have a good one. See you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye. And as always, be good to each other.